What is that thing you're doing?
It's technical. It's when we're a little tired. Something is different.
Good friend.
Anything different is good.
Go ahead. Your bus is leaving.
Backhouse man. I'm a scientist.
What's the next question of good? You only think about that.
I just have a feeling that something is wrong.
Good things do happen.
Make it Centauri time.
Hello and welcome to Groundhog Jungle. This is the first in a series of podcasts all about the films of Bill Murray. I am Alex Hillman.
And I'm Matthew Fleming.
So this is episode 1. Today we're going to discuss the film Jungle Burger, which has another name, I think.
It has another name. It's Jungle Burger. It's its US title. Its original Belgian title translates as Tarzoon, Shame of the Jungle. There's 2 puns for the price of 1.
That's really good.
Yes,
and
like
in
the film, but we'll get to that.
In addition to that, it stars the son of the original Tarzan, I think. Johnny Weissmuller.
Weissmuller Jr., yeah.
Yeah, technically Bill Murray's film debut, although I think most people would probably consider the following film to be his proper film debut, because he really is barely in.
Yeah.
But going back to Johnny Weissmuller, I think I made the point in the original review that...
Although I wrote the review, but yeah.
You made the point.
No, I think it was your point in that.
In fact, actually, we're going to go on to that point in a minute. But these reviews were written a long time ago, yes. So our knowledge of what we wrote might be ropey at best, but we'll do our best to kind of add to it in as positive and entertaining a way as possible.
Let's contextualise.
Yeah, okay.
Let's explain how this whole thing.
But let's
about.
remember to go back to Johnny Weissmuller.
Yes. Oh, yes. We're just, right. I'm going to write his name down.
Yeah.
Johnny Weissmuller.
Yeah. Pronunciation.
Okay. To be decided. TBC. I'm going to put. Just want to explain how this came about. I think you, Alex, wanted to watch the films of Bill Murray in order. You'd wanted to do that for quite some time.
Yes.
And I just piggybacked on it and said, let's write some reviews of it and star them.
And then I think possibly it was my idea to actually put them on the internet.
Yeah, possibly.
So all the reviews are... I cannot remember the website of the own web address that I paid for.
You can find it by typing Groundhog Jungle into Google, where it comes up as the first 2 searches.
Yes, I think it does. And then you will find all the reviews. And we've done everything up to... as of the date right now, what is it today? The 7th of August?
7th of August.
Yeah. I think these podcasts are going to be released as 3 in a row.
Right, that
so
sounds
this
good.
will be the first of those. Again, this is like a fledgling little project, so we've not fully decided all the nuts and bolts and things, and I'm mixing metaphors there.
Yes, you are.
But we will. What point was I making? Oh yeah, you can go to the website and read all the reviews there, but they are all there, and they are all relatively entertaining. We tend to take turns as to what we review, but sometimes we do 2 in a row, and then the other person does 2 in a row. But anyway...
And here are the rules, I was just going to say. The rules are that every film needs to be scored out of 10 by each of us, and then we take an average, which is always interesting. There's sometimes a huge discrepancy, sometimes not. The rules are we go via IMDb, and that's a very important distinction because... Well, as we'll come to it, Alex, you were saying earlier, this is his first film, sort of chronologically, but not technically the first film he's in. Technically, the first film...
Oh yeah, that's absolutely right.
The first time we ever see a credited Bill Murray film appearance isn't until film 7, oddly, which is Loose Shoes. It's incredible, but I looked up today to make sure I was definitely sure of my facts. Sub-segments of that were filmed in 1977, probably before Meatballs, which is his first... starring role.
Yes. And
this film, the film we're going to talk about next podcast, Next Stop Greenwich Village, was uncredited, so some websites...
Even though he's in it quite a bit.
Yeah, enough to... Hopefully to be credited.
Diarrhea related. But anyway, so back to Jungle Burger. Sorry, are there any more rules we need to explain before we talk about Jungle Burger?
We always take a picture of ourselves.
Yes, and it has to involve...
And it has to be in the order it is in IMDb. That's what I was trying to say, because...
Yeah, it has to be in the order. We initially were watching them, obviously, on DVD, sometimes internet, sometimes streaming, sometimes not. But we found a way of watching the film. I think we must have watched on every kind of medium going.
Yeah.
Computers, working and not, phones...
and we can't wait to tell you a certain video-related story on with friends like these.
Yeah, that'll be a few podcast time. Quite a few, actually. About 15. Anyway, anything else? Oh yeah, and the picture always has a picture us with the DVD
or outside the cinema
that we watched it, and it's very important that we always do that. The website, as of this moment, is still missing the two most recent films: Ghostbusters, the remake, the all-female cast remake, which Matt wrote the review to over a year ago, and I've not put up yet. Mostly because in that time I've fathered a child, and the time has
just flown by
a little bit. But Matt's work ethic is generally better than mine.
No,
and he already has a child.
Stop.
We both have two little boys. By that I mean we each have a boy, but we're not a couple.
It's 5 minutes in, and we've already referenced Rolf Harris almost.
Yes.
Two little boys.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, there was a dodgy reference there, but I realise it's not
a good song.
In the context.
I don't mind saying that.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
It's a good. You can separate art from the artist making it, and it's a good song.
I certainly hope so.
Yes, you can. You shout it because Bill Murray's made some terrible films. Let us tell you that.
Yes. Has Jimmy Savile made any good pieces of work that we want to praise right now?
Yeah, there's a difference, isn't there, between Bill Murray and Jimmy Savile? No one's going to do a Jimmy Savile podcast.
No, but there's not a huge difference between Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris.
No, let's not discuss that difference. There are lawyers who are going to be paid to make this difference.
Anyway, Johnny Weissmuller.
Okay.
So Johnny Weissmuller Jr. is the star, is the Tarzan. In Jungle Burger. This film is awful. This film is a really bad film. And Johnny Weissmuller Jr. is the son, obviously, of Johnny Weissmuller, who played the original Tarzan. Now, I can only assume he had a terrible relationship with his dad. Because it's a bit like... I'm trying to think of a really good example here. It's a bit like Orson Welles' son doing... I don't know... think of an Orson Welles film, a good one.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. It's a bit like doing a film called Citizen Kane is shit, or something like that.
It does seem an insult, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Why would you make this film if you loved your dad?
Yeah, but presumably he didn't, because he made Shame of the Jungle, or Jungle Burger, or whatever you want to call it.
Let's contextualise what happened. So in 1975, there was a cartoonist called Pisha. His real name, I've written it down, was Pisha Jean-Paul inverted commas, or quote marks or whatever, Monda Wall Ravens. He was a Belgian artist, and he's still alive. He's 74. Right. He's just a purveyor of smut, really. Yeah. I don't know how to... I'm not coming at this from a religious point of view, but his cartoons are workmanlike, formulaic, and he is obsessed with sex.
And penises.
And
they're really unfunny. Yeah. And we've seen 2 of the 3. So unless in the third one he's suddenly adopted a vaguely competent manner of filming and writing and production and good voice acting and animation and non-smut... I think we can assume that he will forever be regarded as shit.
And this film, so it's really, it's well said. This film made in its original Belgian language in 1975, re-released I think in 1979 with Saturday Night Live cast members doing the voices, rewritten as well, the script by people who worked at Saturday Night Live. I think that might be the second one, but I think there's this one as well. But so basically, I had a complete overhaul. Other than the images you see in front of them, every single thing was changed before cinema release, and it's still shit.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean, it's so can we? I mean, we can. We're not. As you've gathered, we're not fans of this film.
No.
So we'll dispense with the score now.
Yes.
Because I don't think we need to talk about the fact that we can put the score at the end of the podcast. This is an off-air discussion that we don't need to be having while we're recording. But,
what I think we should say, though, is that for we both agree, I think, that we've scored it one of the lowest we've ever scored any films, and yet still probably not the worst Bill Murray film we've seen.
No,
we can
in many
come to
ways.
that. We'll leave people hanging.
For example, okay, I'll refer back to that, but this is a film I'd rather watch than some other late films, but out of curiosity, a bit like I would rather look at. I would if I had the choice between looking at the face of the Elephant Man and Jordan, I'd rather look at the face of the Elephant Man.
Because it's more
interesting. Jordan, no. Now that's not libel because that's an opinion.
We've got our lawyer in the corner there. He doesn't talk. He just nods from time to time. Yeah. He's shaken his head throughout most of this. It's past tense.
Well, it's present progressive, isn't it? It's shaking.
Shaking.
He is shaking.
No, but I was going to say he's shaking his head throughout this so far. Shaken. He's shaken.
Shaken. So that's past perfect.
So shook would be he shook his. Oh, yeah, that would be definitely past.
It's past.
Anyway.
So we're both teachers as well.
Hi.
I should add.
Can I just quickly explain the plot of this? There is a plot, so it's like a rip-off of Tarzan, obviously, but it's changed enough of it so it can't actually be legally... Because I think Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan?
Yes.
He wasn't still alive, I don't think, when this was made, but there's a rule, isn't there, a legal rule that 70 years need to pass
75.
before you can... 75, is it?
Yeah.
Before you can use the copyright or basically do anything you want with that story. And so they changed it, they just changed a couple of words, because I'm pretty sure, I haven't read the Tarzan books, I'm pretty sure there isn't a marching army of penises that spurt out sperm.
No.
As...
Or a baby crusher, which turns babies into squares and then extracts their penises.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is also in this film.
It's crudely animated, and it's not crudely animated in a way that you can, like South Park or something that's got some class to it. It's not...
Yes,
and I never thought I'd describe South Park as uncut, but it does.
Well, yeah, it does compared to this. And obviously South Park, often the animation is done poorly on purpose, especially in the later series.
And this, I guess they just didn't have the money, I don't know.
Possibly didn't have the money, possibly didn't care. I think it was in an age where there were a lot of adult cinemas. It did phenomenally well, actually, for a niche market, and people loved smut. Adult audiences love to go and see the novelty of an adult cartoon. Actually, it's very untitillating in a way.
Yes.
Because it is, well, not in a way, it just is very untitillating. It serves no kind of erotic purpose. The only way you'd get a boner from watching this film is if you liked cartoon tits. On a character that looked like Wilma from the Flintstones. And I'm pretty sure no one fits into that bracket. Bill Murray's part in the film. Now, I don't want to confuse this because Peach is going to crop up again in these podcasts.
He'll crop up in
and I remember him
films
playing a dragon, but that's not in this film, is it?
No, and that's his own story, isn't it? Bill, he is a radio announcer, which is odd. Come back to Film 3 for that because he's also a radio announcer in The Brutals.
Yes.
So in the first 3 films of his career, 2 of them he probably wouldn't even technically call films, really, or he wouldn't. One of them was a TV movie. I mean, it's all a moot point, all of it. But he's a radio announcer, and do you remember? I think he's a radio announcer at the same time as there's a monkey urinating into a toilet.
Yeah.
So basically the urine
and that
has
is
a
his film
louder
debut.
pitch. Has a louder pitch than Bill Murray's voice. So we had to rewind it, I think, and say, is that Bill Murray's voice?
And we had and even then,
why is he saying
still
something
weren't sure.
funny in it? I mean, that's what you're paying for. But this was redubbed in 1979 to capitalise on the Saturday Night Live experience and phenomenon, which is why when Alex said it was a massive hit, that's who they brought in. Who did we bring in? Oh, well, Saturday Night Live cast members who could allude to smut on TV, but couldn't actually really say anything particularly smutty because of broadcast regulations. So in film, we could possibly get away with that if we've got like is it an X? No, they rewrote it to get away with an X certificate. It didn't have an X. Yeah, is that what it is?
I think so. R's higher than X.
Yeah.
No, is it? Can't remember.
But if you went there thinking in 1979 and I assume everyone who went to see it wore a dirty Mac, I don't know.
Probably.
And, there's that people from the TV. If you were expecting to see Bill Murray, who by then had some great spots on Saturday Night Live, you would be really bloody disappointed.
Yes. I need to ask.
Yeah.
In the 70s...
I mean, I don't know. I just touched your leg. I didn't. We're sat very
Matt
close
just
together.
touched my leg, and I liked it.
Yeah,
but that's for another time.
Yeah,
I didn't really like it. Well, I mean, I didn't mind it.
No, it was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's my leg, and that's my penis.
Oh yeah. Oh well, they are similarly sized.
Touch. Are you saying I've got a tiny leg or a massive penis?
You can work. The listeners can work that out. All 3 of them. That's generous, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, 2 of those are us.
Hi, Russ. I know you said us. I know.
Anyway,
what were we saying about
sorry. Who in the 70s? Who went?
Who went to see this?
Yeah, because presumably, it was a darkened theatre. I doubt they cleaned it that often. Think of the amount of sperm that must have been lying on those seats.
No one would have masturbated to this.
Not to this, but think of the other stuff that would have been on.
1979, what else was out that year?
Emmanuel.
Was it? You looked this up.
No, but it was around that time. I mean, these were porno theatres, so adult films got produced.
Yes,
things like Caligula, which is a huge film,
That's true.
with straight up hardcore porn in it.
Yeah.
but also Malcolm McDowell. Not doing porn, but one of these. It's a film that's got lots of stars in it, but also has got. I don't know. I'm gesturing. No one can see me. That has got lots and lots of pornography in it, and these are the sort of places that would have put on a film like Jungle Burger.
And yet it is. It's not fun to watch, which most animation is at least fun. Even badly done animation, you can still give it to a kid and the kid will lap it up. But
you couldn't give this to a kid.
No, because it's unsuitable, but also the kid would a discerning kid would go, I'm not watching this badly animated shit.
Yeah, and it also has no replay value and no...
So do you know, I tried rewatching it today before you came around. Yeah, I tried rewatching it. I stuck it on what I was eating. What was I eating? Something with meat in it. I was eating a burger and I could not, funnily enough, because it's called Jungle Burger. But I could not I made it to 2 minutes 10. I started feeling very ill by the fact I was watching this terrible animation.
Was the burger cooked?
The burger was cooked, but 2 minutes to... Oh, yeah, we've got experience of this and we'll talk about that later. Okay. 2 minutes...
I bet they're not going to get in on that, though, are they?
No.
Sorry.
What? 2 minutes...
Well, that's an anecdote that's for us, not for them.
Oh, no. I mean, we could talk about it later when it comes to the Groundhog Day film review, because that's related to the musical.
You will get that, but not for a while.
What was I saying? Oh, yes. 2 minutes, 10 seconds into this film, because it's on YouTube as well, should you want to watch it. It's perfectly accessible. Even though I bought it on DVD, which was a bit of a... I realise this now. Maybe it wasn't on there then. Anyway, 2 minutes 10 seconds in, there is the first 2 minutes is just scrolling text, like Star Wars, because obviously Star Wars had just come out when he made this, 75, right? So he just come out. So it's the scrolling text thing, and they get a couple of gags off that. Wait, it's moving too fast and all that rubbish. And then we open with the first shot, which is Africa. We zoom in on Africa. He keeps saying Africa over and over again in the credits, if you remember. Africa, Africa. And then we zoom in on a picture of Africa on a map. I mean, it's not a picture of Africa, right? It's a woman. And the region that they're going in isn't the bush. It's a bush. It's a woman's vaginal hair. Yeah. That's what it is. And on 2 minutes, I couldn't eat a burger and watch that.
No.
I mean, I watched several Saw movies while eating Irish stew. And that was fine. But this wasn't. It's bad taste.
Yeah.
And it's not funny bad. Bad taste is okay, isn't it? As long as there's a reason for it, but it's just...
It's not funny. And although I have said, there are other films that I'd rather watch this instead of some of the other films on our list, it's still really, really unwatchable. And I would imagine that in the past, and that tells you how bad some of the other films we're going to come across are.
Yeah.
But luckily it's Bill Murray, and he's done some incredible films as well. 2 of which are probably on my 10 favourite films of all time. But in any case, we'll get to that later. I cannot think that anyone in the last 5 years... Because just to let you be aware, I think we must have watched this about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago. I don't think anyone else in the last 5 years has watched it. Or if they have, they've watched it by accident or because they're doing the same thing we are.
Yeah.
But I honestly, and to the nth degree like we have, I cannot imagine why anyone would have watched this film.
And can I just say, in case you are tempted to do the same thing we are with anyone, with Bill Murray, with anyone, it's
our idea.
It's not easy to locate a lot of these films. I was speaking to a student a few years ago, and she said, "Oh, I've watched me and my dad at the weekend. We watched every single Ewan McGregor film."
No, you haven't.
I said, "Did you?" She said, "Yes, every single one." I said, "Well, every single one," and we just repeated the phrase "every single one" over and over again until it lost all meaning. And then I said, "So how was Rogue Trader?" And she went, "What?" I said Rogue Trader, the Nick Leeson film, the Baron Banks film, the one that Ewan McGregor is in the whole way through from beginning to end, because he's Nick Leeson.
Yeah. Well,
and she said, I haven't seen that. And I said, well, then you're not doing it properly.
Shallow Grave.
Yeah.
The Impossible, Beauty and the Beast. I mean, I'm naming quite famous films here.
Yeah. But, I think people... What I wanted to say is that I think people think they've seen every film with their favourite actor, but they haven't, because they can't be bothered to watch the obscure ones or the rubbish ones. And yet we've done that for you so that you don't have to. So you're
but the thing is, we've definitely done it. Yes. I mean, what I should add, and I think we've probably finished talking about Jungle Burger now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end. I'm going to sort of bring this particular episode to an end by saying one of the rules that we agreed on, and they are all outlined on the website, but one really key rule is that we don't watch any TV, because Bill Murray, especially lately, has done some really decent TV and appeared in quite a bit of TV in the 80s as well.
Yes.
And but we don't consider that. We do
TV movies.
We do TV movies. We do anything that is considered a feature.
Yeah.
So it can be a TV movie.
So The Rutles was a TV movie.
It can be a short film.
Yeah.
But it has to be some sort of feature. He doesn't have to visually be in it. It can just be his voice. And in some cases, we'll get to this much later, but in Dumb and Dumber 2, for example, you don't even see his face.
No.
And he doesn't say anything, but it is definitely him.
Yeah.
But it's not film, not computer game either. I think he might have done 1 or 2 computer games.
Yes, he's done like the Ghostbusters one, I think he was in. But yeah. Now, it has to be a film, and because Olive Kitteridge, the miniseries he did, that's 2 separate, like 2-hour slots or something like that. It's just not a film; it's a miniseries. So yeah, that's our rules. Shall we give our verdicts on this?
Yeah.
Can you remember
is this the rating?
Yeah.
So, that's nice.
It's nice, isn't it?
Is that the clock going?
That's the clock. We're in the book room, ladies and gentlemen.
Doesn't it? Yeah. This is our studio. So I gave this a 2 out of 10.
Yes, I gave it a 2 out of 10 too. It was our first film. It was a negative way to start, and one of the worst films we've seen. Yeah. So that is an average of 2 out of 10. Is it our lowest film? We'll find out. I think it is, though.
Yeah, that would have been a really great place to end it.
Okay, shall we re-record that bit?
No, I can edit it later. Again, another off-air conversation.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for listening to Groundhog Jungle. The title of which, by the way, is obviously... I will explain it, but it's a reference to his first film, Jungle Burger, and a famous film that he's been in.
And also Jungle Book, his 60th film, I think, or 61st. So there was a nice bookend for a while there.
There was, although we didn't know that when we named it.
No, we had no idea. Fate.
Bye then.